very least. This cold front will give way to some high pressure. Some warmer air will filter in, and then an upper level disturbance will also play another role in our forecast, and that will give us a few chances for a few showers as well. And then thereafter, I've got to run into the 80s, maybe even mid 80s by early next week. We'll talk about your weather in more detail. We'll talk about what the weather is doing to the fall colors out there, and we'll take a little bit of an observation, and we'll hear some observations from someone who can weigh in on the subject a little more than I even. We'll talk about a slew of auto accidents over the course of this morning and afternoon in McGoffin County, and in fact, just as I'm sitting down to produce this show, EMS and rescue personnel just wrapped up at the scene of airlifting someone, a victim of an ATV accident. We may have some video and or details to share with you before we leave you. We'll also talk about a different type of a mail order situation. A McGoffin County woman jailed for getting illegal drugs in the mail. We'll talk about the investigation that appears to be ongoing from the McGoffin County Sheriff's Department, and we'll also talk about a home visit led to a drug-related arrest and charges of endangering the welfare of a minor and other charges in Johnson County, and a lot of other news and information before we leave you for, once again, what I hope will be a cozy Thursday evening for you from hereafter. We'll go ahead and pick it up with those auto accidents, which began early this morning for the McGoffin County Rescue Squad, several fire departments, and the McGoffin County Sheriff's Department as well. Around 9 o'clock on the Mountain Parkway, followed by two more accidents, another on the Mountain Parkway, and that most recent call that authorities just cleared the scene from, I believe, of course, as I referred to, involving that ATV accident. Of a string of at least 3 auto accidents in McGoffin County earlier today started on 460 West when a vehicle traveling actually in the direction of Sagersville lost control. This appears to be the only accident that may have been attributed to some lightly rain-slickened roads. A female driver, we believe possibly from the Moorhead area, lost control of her vehicle. She was out of the vehicle upon arrival of emergency personnel and refused medical treatment at the scene. No other vehicles were involved. It did tie up traffic until the car could be removed on 460 for quite some time thereafter. And just soon thereafter, the McGoffin County Rescue Squad and the Sheriff's Department responded to another call, this one near exit 72 on the Mountain Parkway just west of the exit, where 2 vehicles had collided. A vehicle from Floyd County, a couple therein, and then a family in a minivan from Pike County were involved in a 2-vehicle collision that shut down the Mountain Parkway for a significant amount of time until all patients could be loaded into an ambulance and transported to an area hospital. It appears as though a third vehicle may have actually caused the accident. A preliminary report from the McGoffin County Sheriff's Department indicates that a truck towing a car on a trailer may have started the chain reaction event.
The operator of the minivan stated that the vehicle in front of her pulling a truck with the car on the back of it. It clipped one of the barrels, causing it to come out the road. And after it stopped, turned brakes, she got rear-ended from the other vehicle that was coming behind her.
That account of the barrel flying up and into the path of the minivan before it tried to stop is the same account given by the driver of the maroon passenger car that struck the minivan in the rear. As for those taken to the hospital, the female driver of the maroon passenger car was taken by ambulance, as was a juvenile from the minivan. And there was actually a third accident that happened earlier today. This one actually before the first 2 that I just reported, sometime around 9 o'clock on the Mountain Parkway further west from this location. A large truck hauling bales of straw that were to be used to sow grass in the median of the Mountain Parkway expansion project. Well, 2 of those bales of straw dropped off of a vehicle, either this one or one similar to it, and they were involved in an accident after a motorist struck those while traveling on the Mountain Parkway. We're told that only minor damage, if any, resulted and that no injuries were reported from that accident. When I come back, a McGoffin County woman in the Big Sandy jail on 8 counts of trafficking in controlled substance and several other counts as well pertaining to a package that she received in the mail that was intercepted, so to speak, by the K-9 unit of the McGoffin County Sheriff's Department, and other drug-related arrests as well. And more news. I'll be right back. For high-speed internet starting at 15 meg for all of your gaming, movie, home, and business solutions, or to watch TV, including your favorite local channels without a contract, with hundreds of channels and digital and HD quality, and to stay connected 24/7 with friends and family, a direct line to 911, or to give your business the link it needs, choose telephone service you know is always there. Just click on their link on this site to find out how affordable the latest technology in communications can be. Foothills Communications. Up next, a couple of drug-related arrests in a couple of viewing area counties. We'll begin in neighboring Johnson County, where the Johnson County Sheriff's Department details how they, as well as members of the Department of Social Services, responded yesterday afternoon to a request for a DSS referral, specifically at a residence on the Left Barker Branch area of Sitka. When the DSS worker and the sheriff's deputies got to the resident, they spoke with this woman, Tiffany M. Millett, and proceeded to do a walkthrough of the home. It was during that walkthrough that the sheriff's deputies asked Millett to consent to search of the room that she shares with her children, and she did so. Consenting for them to go through, deputies say that in the room they discovered a quantity of pills, marijuana, and various drug paraphernalia. Tiffany M. Millett was placed under arrest, and she was also subsequently charged with endangering the welfare of a minor, possession of a controlled substance in the third degree, the drug was unspecified, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of marijuana. She was afterwards transported to the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center. We need to note the incident remains under investigation by Deputy Terry Tussey of the Johnson County Sheriff's Department. And as always, the Sheriff's Department urges anyone out there who may have any knowledge of any illegal activity to please contact the Johnson County Sheriff's Department at 789-3411. And remember, they need your information and not your name. Here in McGoffin County, I was unable to reach the arresting officer earlier today, McGoffin County Sheriff's Deputy Neil Adams, but a citation signed on his behalf outlines or details an arrest made earlier this week on the 12th, the day, in which police have charged Micah J. Reed with a total of 8 counts of trafficking in a controlled substance, third degree, 8 counts of a prescription of a controlled substance not in its original container, and 3 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia. The narrative in the citation says that the above subject, being Reed, had received a package through the United States mail from a Stephen Mark Brown, and that the McGoffin County Sheriff's Department K-9 unit hit on the package earlier the same date. We're uncertain, but we have reason to believe that the package was intercepted at some point, with the K-9 unit being able to analyze or go over the package when it hit on it for some sort of illegal drug inside. When the package was delivered, it appears as though, per the citation, that authorities were watching, as the subject, Micah Reed, retrieved it from her mailbox, addressed to her, delivered to her address. It was then that K-9 officer Nick Markham and Deputy Jonathan Holbrook, says the citation, approached her as they apparently were watching and advised her that the dog had already marked on that package that there was something inside. She later, after some discussion, it appears as though gave verbal permission for deputies to open and search the item, and that's when K-9 officer Nick Markham did so. Inside the package was an envelope with some papers that appeared to have also been inside, and those concealed 8 Suboxone strips. The subject stated that she had no idea as to why Stephen Mark Brown would have mailed them to her. Mr. Brown sent them reportedly from a Virginia address, according to the citation. The subject, Reed, did state to authorities that that is where Brown lives. Nevertheless, she is still lodged, or was as of last report, in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center on the before-mentioned charges. More top headlines in just a few moments. Right now, let's go on over to our community calendar, brought to you by McGoffin Farm Bureau, with a few announcements that I need to read before we go any further. First one being Revival, starting tomorrow night. It's actually 3 nights, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights, 7 o'clock nightly at the Head of Coon United Baptist Church with Pastors Delbert Porter, Andrew Oliver, and hopefully you as well. Revival starting tomorrow night at the Head of Coon. The Substance Abuse Free Environment Coalition has set their next regular monthly meeting for this coming Wednesday at 1 in the McGoffin County Health Department. I'll remind you early next week. And for now, a few more reminders about some fun things happening this weekend and a little bit beyond. First off is a birthday wish, and this one says, Happy birthday, Sam Whitaker, from your children, from your grandchildren, from your family, and from a host of friends. Happy birthday to you. A reminder that the annual Arts and Crafts Show in the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center is coming up. You know, Christmas in November the 4th and 5th. Be here before you know it. If you want to have a table and be a vendor inside, you need to register by October the 28th. And to do so, contact the director of the Community Center, Susie Salyer, at 349-4409, or you can call the judge's office. And remember, all the fun starts tomorrow. They're going to have a couple of off Dawkins trail rides. It's a wagon and a horseback ride. Tomorrow they're going to leave at 3 o'clock for kind of a short ride. Dinner will be served by the Kearney Church after when everyone gets back, and Turning Ground performs at the Royalton Bottom in downtown Royalton tomorrow evening at 6 for the first phase of the Triple R weekend. Saturday, a nice big breakfast will be available, and they'll have another trail ride starting at 1. They'll have a lunch prepared. They'll have Terry Miller and the Bridge also performing before dinner, or actually sometime around the same time dinner is to be served as well. They've got campsites. They're going to have hay rides. They're going to have a whole lot of fun. Just a few dollars, $5 to get in and see the entertainment, $20 and you can go camp all weekend, and it's just going to be a wonderful fall event. Also tomorrow and Saturday, the Haunted Woods Trail at the lower end of Saggersville. I saw the signs today. You can't miss them. They're at the bottom of the Ivy Point Hill on Lee Prater Street. Just $5 to get you in. It opens at dark, and they'll have an outdoor theater, they say, and concessions available as well. So come get your scare on. A reminder that homecoming and revival at the Saggersville Free Will Baptist Church Friday through Wednesday, 7 nightly, except on Sunday, which I believe will be 6. So come and enjoy and share in God's blessings at the Saggersville Free Will Baptist Church beginning tomorrow night. The Middle Fork Fire Department's put together a big, wonderful soup, bean dinner, and gospel sing this Saturday at the firehouse, 1 till 6. If you're over 70, you get in free. For everyone else, just $6 will get you in the door. Several groups, a lot of prizes, and a great meal with dessert. And a quick reminder, if you've got announcements and you want them on the show, all you have to do is make sure we get them any way you can. That includes dropping them off here at the studio on East Maple Street. And remember, the show is always on our website at yournewstoday.com. And one last announcement this evening that comes in loving memory of C.M. Gasberry, with a lot of love and remembrance from his kids, family, and friends. Telling my friend Ollie how my namesake, Grandpa Henry Mortimer, used to keep a daily journal, and in that he would keep daily weather, temperatures and conditions, and some other important facts. And I so wish that I started that at the very start of this program, and I'm sure I was probably urged to do so, and probably just never carried through with it. One of those interesting and neat facts would be current or past weather observations and being able to compare them. So I've only got one real comparison as it pertains to the fall colors, and that's in my front yard. And we'll use that tonight for an observation as well as one from someone who should have a little something to say on the subject. So as far as the colors of fall and the leaves falling off the trees go, the only real point of reference that I have noted to myself over the years is how many of the leaves off the 2 big maples in my front yard have fallen by Halloween. Kind of a gauge that I have as to whether or not I'm going to have to rake them all up before all the little ghosts and goblins come out for trick or treat. And most often, more than not, they're pretty much all on the ground by the time the 31st of October rolls around. Here we are, these 2 trees in my front yard today, October the 13th, showing very little, if any, sign of color whatsoever except for green, and only a few to have hit the ground so far. And I'm not the only one who has noticed this slower arrival or transition of the season. Our resident expert, we'll call him, Ollie Rose at Buddy's Produce, says that this is the latest he's stayed open in the 4 years that he's been here in McGoffin County.
Well, it's later than we've ever had because, like, for instance, last year we shut down on the 14th and today's the 13th. And we were out of mums. Everybody that was finished decorating, and this morning, even with the dreary weather that finally feels like fall, we've been loading mums out left and right and plan on getting more in. I'm thinking it's mostly because we had 90-some degree heat just a week and a half ago, and it's just held everybody off. And most of the people that stop, they just say regulars and everything that just says same thing, that they're just holding off. It still feels like summer, but whenever the patterns started changing and everything, they started, coming out and wanting to decorate.
Another observation from Ollie, in the downtime that he has in between customers carting out all those mums and pumpkins and fresh produce, he has time to maybe often stare across and into the hillside where those colors too, even though they're just now starting to change, are well behind what we would all consider a regular schedule.
They're a lot more green. They haven't got the color to them as usual, because usually when we shut down, it's the week before Court Day in Preston in Mount Sterling. And that's this coming weekend. And usually we take the 460 route to go leaf watching, and the leaves just don't have the color. And when I've been hauling apples and stuff in, they're starting to get it, but it's just not there yet. You haven't had enough cold yet.
And that appears to have been at least pretty good for mum sales, but Ollie and everyone else are wondering just when will the colors arrive. Will they be as vibrant and have as much punch as they always do? And then how long, of course, will they stick around? As for elsewhere, for example, I'm going to KentuckyTourism.com and taking a look at current seasonal observations, and this photo taken at Natural Bridge just Sunday, this past Sunday the 9th, described as a sunny and crisp day with colors just starting but still muted, with the expected peak of color possibly next week. I'm thinking maybe a little week after, but they're confident that maybe next week. In Cumberland Falls, it describes the overall color display as starting to explode, with maples showing some great reds, yellows, and oranges, and dogwoods and sourwoods showing some brilliant reds too. And by the way, now through the 19th, just a few days from now, the moonbow can be seen if the skies are clear at night. And of course, Cumberland Falls is one of only 2 regularly occurring moonbows on the entire planet. So it might be a good little road trip for you in the near future. In your immediate future, like now, if you're catching the early show, 63 and holding here at the studio. We'll fall back to a mid-40 range tonight at around 45 under mostly cloudy skies. I think this cold front that's left us a little dreary today with little clouds above, a few clouds above, and a little light rain and some mist. Not letting go as of yet. It's hanging on. We will see clouds start to give way, I think, to partly cloudy skies. It's going to be a while for us here in eastern Kentucky, but they will do so during the overnight, especially into your tomorrow. But another day in the 60s, a tad bit warmer, 69, definitely some more sunshine above tomorrow. We'll see some more increasing clouds, however, and then we'll see a setup for the weekend. Saturday and Sunday not looking all that bad. We've got some scattered showers that will be about looking into your forecast. So mostly sunny tomorrow on your Friday, 69. As for the timeline for the viewing area on Saturday, right now a 30% chance of showers Friday night. I didn't even put on your forecast there because really it's like after 5 o'clock Saturday morning. So into your Saturday, a 30% chance of showers continuing maybe up until 7. We're talking about a very narrow window of about 3 or 4 hours during the very early morning hours on Saturday. After that, I think we'll see mostly cloudy skies give way to some sunshine, hopefully by Saturday afternoon. If we do so, it will be late. I think the clouds will hang on for several hours after that chance of some light showers. Nevertheless, though, warmer. And that's a good thing, 75 and 52, because there are a lot of things happening this weekend, outdoorsy, obviously. Into your latter half of the weekend, well, you'll notice a trend here, won't you? We'll definitely see the sunshine return, mostly sunny and 79. Let's just call it 80 because it sounds better. 80 or near to Sunday. 50s for nighttime lows, mostly sunny, partly cloudy, dry, and nice. And check it out thereafter. Right now, Monday, 81, mostly sunny. Tuesday, 84 and mostly sunny. We do have another front by midweek next week that only puts us down to about 79 on Wednesday, but back to the upper 60s by Thursday, I think. It's going to wrap it up for tonight. We are looking into, of course, the ATV accident that resulted in a life flight taking place for the victim that was involved. And we'll also have some other news and information that you're only going to see here. So we hope to see you back here as we wrap up yet another week already of October. Good night, and thanks for watching.